Welcome back to Stocklabs for another market recap. We are almost through with the first month of 2024. It was a pretty good week for markets, kind of uneventful. As far as the performance went, IWM was the leader, up 1.9%. S&P was up 1%. Dow was up 0.6. Qs were only up also 0.6. I mean, throughout the week, we kind of drifted higher in like a little bit of a choppy kind of pattern. And then Friday, everything closed a bit soft, but you still got some gains out of the market. So, I mean, the pace of the gains has slowed down from the past couple weeks, but bears still don't have anything going in this market. So it's kind of like however far the bulls want to press anything week to week, that's where it goes. So gold was down 0.5%. Bonds were also down 0.3. Second week down, I think, for bonds. They had a bad week the week before. And oil was up 6%. This is the best week for oil in a little while. I think the tensions in the Middle East are escalating a bit more. You've got stuff all over the place. Israel, Gaza is still going on. Yemen and the Houthis are causing problems for the shipping corridors down there. A lot of it is, or at least from the U.S. government side, a lot of it gets blamed on Iran. So whenever they come in the picture, oil starts going up and whatever. It ends up dying down anyway. So, yeah. Did I miss anything on here? Credit. I don't really talk about this that much anymore. It's pretty stable, up 0.6 for the week. So not too bad. If we look at our leadership stocks, which are still kind of the only game in town, really, even though IWM was the leader this week, really this is where the market is driven from. Google up 4% for the week, up over 150. I think this is all-time highs, or maybe not. Maybe it has a little higher to go. I forget. We've got Meta up 3%, back toward 400. Nvidia up to 2.5%. Amazon up 2.5% almost. Microsoft only up 1.3. Apple up 0.4, basically kind of in line with the NASDAQ and the S&P. Or S&P was up more than this, but basically in line with the NASDAQ. And Tesla, terrible week, down 14%, down 26% already for the year, which is kind of funny. Kramer has removed Tesla from the Magnificent Seven, so there are, to him, only 6 stocks in the Magnificent Seven. I don't know, maybe he put something else in, I don't know. But he's done with Tesla, so do with that as you wish. The breadth from an industry perspective was okay across the board. Utilities were the least bullish, only up 0.3. Basic materials, as you can imagine, they followed the crude trade, up 3% on a median basis. Kind of underperformed the commodity, but probably you'll see these catch up, especially if crude makes another leg up. Rest were more or less in line with the market itself. So consumer was up 1.7, services up 1.5, tech up 1.13. So tech actually did better than NASDAQ. So pretty good tech breadth. Healthcare up 1, industrials up 1, financials up 1. Everything kind of around up 1% for the week. So not too bad. Subsector wise, we've got a handful of sectors that are actually up over 5%. So that's pretty good. They are sort of centered around the oil and gas trade. Randomly, we have some airlines that were up big this week, and aluminum, top performer for some reason. I don't feel like looking up. On the downside, not a whole lot here. Really not a lot of sectors that are moving negatively. We've got a couple of semiconductor ones sprinkled in here, but semis had a giant run the week before. They were like all over the leaderboard. So, I mean, it's not really that surprising that they might give it a little back. It's only like 1-2% anyway. So, not that big of a deal. Breadth from a market cap perspective, we've got 1 to 5 billion cap stocks up 2.25%. So that's really strong, better even than the Russell. 5 to 10 billion up 1.4%. So kind of a pretty big drop off right away as soon as the cap up. 10 to 50 billion up 115 basis points. 50 to 100 billion up 120 basis points, and 100 billion cap plus stocks up 1.4%. Better than the S&P, better than the NASDAQ, better than all the real indices. So, market remains bullish, breadth remains strong. Not a whole lot of weaknesses to point out here. So we've got our intelligence for the coming week, and looks like ARK is bullish. There's a leveraged ARK ETF. Bearish gold miners, bullish Meta, bullish technology, bullish FANG, whatever the dry bulk index is, bullish the NASDAQ, bullish semiconductors, bullish transportation. So, I mean, looks like Stocklabs is bullish for this week, especially if you consider that the past week was kind of a breather. Stocklabs looking for resumption of trend to the upside. On the downside, we've got short treasuries bearish. So short treasuries bearish means we should be bullish. Treasuries for the week, semiconductor bear ETF is bearish, so bullish semis again. Oil and gas is bearish. And natty gas bearish. Natural gas is always bearish, seems like. So, yeah, that's that. I mean, it's pretty, we're kind of like in a pattern of just trend following, right? So there's nothing that is disrupting the momentum of the market. So that sort of just means that it's going to stay in the direction that it's been going. There's really not a whole lot to upset the apple cart at this point. All of the geopolitical stuff aside, that stuff never ends up being anything. So, market tends to look right through it after, maybe it pauses a little bit or something. But nobody really cares about geopolitics when it comes to stocks. So, anyway. Yeah, that's it from me. We're not quite overbought yet on the market, so even that is not really like too much cause for concern. Again, like I said, just sort of following the trend to the upside. It's been pretty uneventful. The volatility has been continued to get crushed, and probably that's not going to change into the end of the month. So, yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys have a good week out there. And we'll be back next week. See how everything went. Talk to you later. Bye.